Okay, so for the quiz review, this is actually the honors quiz review. The regular is the same thing, except just a little less problems. So if you're a regular kid and you're watching this, just know that this paper has a little bit more problems and you could just skip over, like fast forward me a little bit. So for number one, you have to find each arc measure. So the measure of C to D, so I have to find this portion right here. Now, if you're looking at your circle, it might be confusing to try to find these right away. I would just start by filling in what I can based on the picture. So if I know that this angle is 53 degrees, this arc is 53 degrees, the square tells me that together these two need to add to make 90. So to find CD, all I'm doing is I'm taking 90 because I know this whole thing is 90, and I'm minusing 53 degrees. So if I take 90 and I minus 53, that gives me 37 degrees. So 37 is the arc measure. It's also technically the angle because this is a central angle. These are congruent. I know 79 is here, and now I can find AB. AB is technically right here, this arc. I know that half of a circle in total makes 180 degrees. So I can actually take 180 and I can minus 79 degrees and 53 degrees, and that's going to give me that answer. So 180 minus 79 minus 53 is 48 degrees. So this one is 48 degrees. And then the last part I need to find is E to D, which is this section here. Now that I know everything else, I can just take 360 and minus everything, or I can think I have half of the circle, which is easier. So this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna minus the little piece that I know is 37. So 180 minus 37 is 143. So that answer is 143 degrees. Now, going to the next problem, which is number 2, I have to find arc EF. EF is right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first solve for X. So I'm gonna set these equal to each other. So 13x, because they're central angles, they're congruent. And now I have a multi-step equation that I can solve. So I can add 7, that makes 10, 13x plus 10 equals 15x. And then I could minus 13x to both sides. So 10 equals 2x divided by 2. X equals 5. Now, when I plug this back in, that's gonna tell me this angle. So I'm gonna do 13 times 5 plus 3. So this piece is 68 degrees. Once again, I know that half of a circle makes 180. So I'm just gonna take 180 and I'm gonna minus what I know, which is 68. So that gives me 112 degrees for arc EF. The next problem is a inscribed angle. So far we've had central angles, they're congruent to each other. These ones, you can think about it one of two ways. I'm taking the arc and I'm dividing by 2 and it's equal to the angle, or I could take the angle and multiply by 2 and it's equal to the arc. On the formula sheet, it says arc over 2 equals angle. So that's what I'm going to do. So my arc is 94. I'm gonna divide by 2, and that equals to my angle, which is 9x minus 25. You could multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the denominator, but I'm just gonna divide this by 2 to make 47 because it's just a number and it goes in nicely. And now I have a 2-step equation, so I'm gonna add 25, add 25. So I get 72 equals 9x, and then if I divide by 9, that makes 8. The next problem says it's a tangent, so DE and EF are tangent to the circle. So what we know about tangent lines, whenever it's a party hat, is that they are equal pieces. So I'm gonna set these equal to each other. And then I can either minus 23 or add 19. I'm gonna add 19, so it's positive, is 42. And then I'm gonna minus 4 to both sides. So I have 6x equals 42, which is 7. because I divide by 6 in the last step. Now I need to find EF, so I do have to plug it back in. E to F is 10x minus 19, so I'm doing 7 times 10, which is 70, and I'm minusing 19, so EF is actually equal to 51 in length. The next two problems are on the poster on the board. These are arc plus arc. So arc plus arc divided by 2 equals the angle. This one is arc minus arc divided by 2, but it's big arc minus small arc equals angle. So they're very similar. One's adding and one is subtracting. So in this case, I'm going to add them. 92 plus 140 divided by 2, and that's just going to give me my answer. Plus 140 divided by 2 is 116. This one, I'm taking big arc, which is 125. I'm minusing small arc, which is 51, and I'm dividing by 2. So 37. On the back, these are all lengths. So in this case, I have a crisscross. Now, if they're on the same line, they get multiplied by together. So I'm doing 16 times 2x minus 5 because they're on the same line together. Equals, on the same line together, these two, 14 times x plus 11. Now to get rid of the parentheses, I have to distribute. 16 times 2 is 32x, 16 times 5 is 80, 14 times x is 14x, 14 times 11 is 154. And now I'm going to add 80 to both sides. So I get 234. And then I'm going to minus 14x to both sides. So I get 18x equals 234. Now I divide by 18 to both sides. So x equals 13. For number 8, I'm taking the outside. So I pick something on the outside, so I'll do 6 multiplied by the entire length of the line. So 6 plus 15, because it's the whole line, equals outside, which is 7, multiplied by the whole length of the line. So 7 plus x. So if I add 6 plus 15, that makes 21. So I'm doing 6 times 21. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 plus x, or times x, is 7x. 6 times 21 is 126. And now it's a two-step equation, so I'm going to minus 49. So I get 77 equals 7x. And then divide by 7, I get x equals 11. The next problem is the same kind of problem. I'm taking the outside and I'm multiplying by the whole length of the line. So I'm doing 12 times 12 plus x equals the other side multiplied by the whole length of the line. 18 times, there's nothing else, so just 18. 12 times 12 is 144. 12 times x is 12x. 18 times 18 is 324. I'm going to minus 144 to both sides. So I get 180. So I have 12x equals 180. And then I divide by 12. So x equals 15. The last problem is the same type of problem. I'm taking my outside, which is, I'll just start with 9, and I'm multiplying by the whole length. So I have to do 9 plus 2x minus 7, because I'm adding them together, equals outside, which is 7, multiplied by whole line added together, so 7 plus 11. So I'm actually going to combine like terms. 9 minus 7 is 2, so I have 9 times 2x plus 2 equals 7 plus, or multiplied by 18, because 7 plus 11 is 18. 7 times 18 is 126 over here. 9 times 2 is 18x. 9 times 2 is 18. So two-step equation, I'm minus 18 to both sides. 108. And now I can divide. So x equals 6. Then I do have to find the length of CD, so I need to plug it back into C to D. So 2 times 6 minus 7. So that's 12 minus 7, so CD is actually equal to a length of 5.